The world has gone mad for super mini-sized SUVs. Like them or loathe them, they're here to stay. And the car that kick-started the whole trend was the Nissan Juke. And now, there's a brand new one.
This is it, the second generation Nissan Juke. On sale for nearly 9 years, Nissan has shifted 1 million of them, 230,000 of which were sold in Britain. It's been designed here too, and set to be built in Sunderland from next month.
Now, the first car was a really recognisable sight on UK roads, so Nissan wasn't going to change too much when it came to the second generation, was it? Now, yes, of course, there is the latest Nissan grille, but there's still the distinctive circular lights here and the slim LED day running lights up here. Along the sides, well, you've still got these enormous wheel arches. One thing that's really changed here, though, is this really strong crease. The old car was very curvaceous and very bulbous, wasn't it? But here, it's a lot sharper and a lot more, well, premium looking, dare I say it. It's round here where the design really changes, though, because the old car had a big fat bumper. I don't know if you remember, but on this car it's completely gone, and that's for one very simple reason. This new Juke has been designed in Europe for Europe. The first Juke was designed as a worldwide car, and that bumper was designed for American legislation. Now, having a not such a bulbous rear bumper has allowed Nissan to really sort of tuck in the design. It looks a lot crisper, a lot sharper, a lot more taut. Now, those boomerang rear lights have gone for something a little bit more distinctive, and they've really pinched, really tapered in the rear end here, emphasising these rear haunches. I think it looks really very good indeed. Now, in terms of dimensions, this car is roughly the same size as the old one. It is 35mm wider, and it's also 105mm longer in the wheelbase, and that promises to have some real advantages when you get in the back. And you can feel that growth in terms of the wheelbase back here, because it does feel a little bit more spacious than it does before. But I have to say, it still feels a little bit cramped compared to the class average cars like the Citroën C3 Aircross, for example, because knee room is all right, but if you're over 6 foot, you're really going to be struggling for rear headroom. But I suppose that's the price you pay for having a car with such a coupe-ish roofline, and a car that, come on, let's face it, looks pretty funky, doesn't it? Let's hop in the front and see what's changed up there. Now, inside, and the first thing you'll notice in here is there's a key design theme from the original Juke has been carried over to this one. It's this centre console, because in the original Juke it was designed apparently to look a bit like a motorbike, and here they've retained it, they've improved it a little bit, better storage, etc, etc, but the same design theme has been carried over. Elsewhere it is completely different, both in terms of quality, fit and finish and design. Now, firstly, you get a fully adjustable steering wheel, thank the Lord, because the old car did not have that, and that really helps sort of comfort. Up front here you've got a new touchscreen, new interface, which is a lot better because the old Juke really badly needed a new infotainment system. This is a lot easier to use, a lot better looking as well. But it's also the quality in here. Yes, there are a few scratchy plastics lower down, but you'd expect that of a car of this size and type. But elsewhere, it feels really nicely put together. Now, this panel up here is actually worth noting. This is an area which you can personalise the car. Here we've got black Alcantara, you can have white leather and black and orange leather, and it just adds a really sort of nice plush feeling to this interior. Overall, I think it's pretty good.
The infotainment screen isn't the only new piece of tech though. There's onboard Wi-Fi, a 7-inch colour display between the dials, there's TomTom Maps with live traffic alerts, voice-controlled Google Assistant and Apple CarPlay. Nissan has also worked with Bose for a bespoke sound system which also features these unusual speakers in the headrests. And the Juke also gets Nissan's semi-autonomous Pro Pilot system, which is capable of controlling the throttle, brakes and steering while driving in a single lane on the motorway. And that will be standard on the top model. The new Juke is a bit wider than the old one, and that helps in the boot. The boot is 68 litres larger than before, which means the new Juke's boot is not too far off that of the Qashqai's, and there's a handy movable floor too. Under the bonnet it's all quite simple. It's so simple in fact there's just one engine, a 1 litre 3-cylinder turbo petrol from the Micra with 115 brake horsepower and the choice of a 6-speed manual or a new 7-speed dual clutch automatic. The Juke uses the new Renault Capture's platform, so in theory there could be hybrid versions on the way, and Nissan hasn't ruled out a hot Nismo version either.
So how much is it all going to cost then? Well, prices should kick off from just under £17,400 and it'll be arriving in showrooms in November. What do you think to it? Well, as ever, let us know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel and switch on those notifications. Thanks for watching.